But the point is why do 30 other nations around the world already grow industrial hemp? And marijuana is illegal in all those countries, so the argument of we can't tell the difference is just like for 2-year-olds. I mean, we know that they're just making money off this, and that's the bottom line. 99% of everything they bring in is feral ditchweed, and if they made hemp legal and kept marijuana illegal, they would lose 99% of their current income on the war on drugs. They call it the federal eradication program. But I mean, just the concept that we're going to eradicate a plant from the earth, you know, it's just follow the money.
I did point out something. I wrote a book, and I've got some copies out here. I'd be glad to sell a few. I bought just a few with me. Called "The Last Free Man in America Meets the Synthetic Subversion." And a huge battle today is going on between the natural cycle and the synthetic cycle. For 10,000 years, our farmers, through the agrarian economy, raised the fiber, fuel, medicine, and food, which is the whole basis of our civilization. And when the alchemists started discovering what they could do with petroleum and all the synthetic products they could make, they decided to go into competition with the farmer in the production of those products, but they didn't come in and try to compete with the farmer through consumer choice. They came in and engineered the criminalization of the farmer who would grow a natural plant in competition with their petrochemical, pharmaceutical, military, industrial, transnational, corporate, fascist, elite products. This whole idea of a controlled economy, you can't have a controlled economy unless you have a controlled population. And so the big battle today is between the natural cycle and the synthetic cycle, and all I'm asking, I don't want to eradicate the synthetic cycle. I simply want our farmers to be, without the burden of becoming a criminal, be able to grow natural crops in competition with the synthetic manufacturers. And I think that's where we become an even stronger nation, and certainly a nation based on the principles on which it was supposed to be founded. By the way, I am an independent candidate for governor in November 2011 in Kentucky. And you also go to gatewood.com and take a look at that. I guarantee you, if I get to be governor of Kentucky, everything changes in the United States of America.
My fellow Californian here, a question about Proposition 19. Now, we know that has nothing to do with hemp, but had Proposition 19 passed, the whole ban on hemp would have become a moot issue, right? Mm-hmm. So, give us some of your thoughts about that.
Well, I don't know. You know, I'm not a big marijuana smoker myself, but I think it's ridiculous that you can't grow a plant, and it makes no sense to me. I think it ought to be legal everywhere. And as one of the square guys in the group, the whole thing of cracking down on agriculture is just ridiculous to me. I think it's a crime, and I don't see how this could be illegal. It boggles the mind. I think any plant that is valuable to the United States should be able to be grown here. It's crazy.
Might propositions like 19, legalization of marijuana, might that be the way to legalize it?
No, I fully disagree.
I
fully disagree. They're cousins, and hemp actually literally will reverse the greenhouse effect and annihilate deforestation and help stop cancers because of the way it grows. It has a supremely, I love marijuana, don't get me wrong, and the medicinal, all that, but hemp, the cousin, it has 10 times to me more value than marijuana will ever have because it makes paper, oil, and gasoline, y'all. That's what we're talking about, oil. It's all about money, and it was tied in the Marijuana Prohibition Act by William Randolph Hearst, who owned all the paper mills, and Lamar DuPont, his billionaire best friend who created plastics that very year. That's why it got tied up. But the two of them, I believe they both should be legal, and it's crazy. California's fucking broke. Are you kidding me, dude? To legalize marijuana, it won't be broke anymore. It's medicinal. It helps you in so many myriad of ways. And hemp, you can build houses, wear the clothes. This is 100% hemp. This is not this. The one I do. I'm building 3 houses made of hemp. So it's all about what we do next. That's why.
I think one of the things we noticed when we're doing the filming is that the state laws can change all they want, but it doesn't override the federal. And so even though the states have been passing these laws, you know, it's what Alex Whiteland was up against. It's like, but if the federal government decides to come in, it overrides those. And I mean, it shows support, but the ultimate change has to come from the federal law, or state laws are just like a paper tiger. I mean, it doesn't really change the law.
So I'm building 3 houses made of hemp, y'all, in Dallas, Texas. And so I'm going to show the textile side, and that's going to help push it even further. Don't y'all agree?
Question? Is there a question, y'all?
Thank you so much for your film. I learned a lot. I realized how ignorant I was. And I'm wondering if you give a thought to reaching out to more mainstream communicators. And I loved Woody. I love Willie Nelson. But really, I think when mainstream people look at them, they think marijuana.
That's why I'm building 3 houses made of hemp. That's actually a very brilliant question, because we still get confused with people thinking all the whole marijuana thing, which is absolutely brilliant. And Gatewood is like the amazing. He's I hope he becomes governor, because he's a voice that everyone will listen to. But I'm building 3 houses made of hemp, and I've written a children's book. I'm writing it called Jack and the Hemp Stalk. And we have a Hempsters University tour, y'all, with the money I just got. I'm the producer, by the way. So they all kind of love and hate me. So I got all this money, and now we have a Hempsters University tour, which Gatewood will be touring with across the U.S. nation to go before these colleges, so we can educate what the difference.
Let me point out something I found out. I've been at this since 1971, and you know, I've heard all the arguments. Well, you know, don't talk about marijuana. Let's just talk about hemp. Let's divide up the two. We won't even discuss marijuana when we go in here and talk about hemp. But your opponent won't let you do that. Your opponents are going to bring up marijuana each and every time. So you have to have the answers ready to blow them out of the water. You don't have to initiate the discussion on marijuana. You wait until they do it, and they always will. When you're talking hemp, you don't want to talk about marijuana. You never say a word, but they always do.
We do.
So that you've got to be prepared to blow their crap right out of the water and return to the discussion of hemp as an industrial textile crop. But don't act afraid when that subject of marijuana comes up, because the science and truth is on your side. The big thing about this is where the federal government has marijuana, cannabis classified as a Schedule I, no medical utility with a high potential for abuse. You know that's a lie. You know that's a lie. And if they can get away with founding drug policy on a fiction, then they're going to create all the realities they want to based on their fiction. So you got to be prepared to rebut them each and every level that they want to come across. So I'm not saying if you want to tell all these straight people about hemp, that's fine. But you watch, the person who wants to subvert you is going to come in and introduce the subject of marijuana, at which point you ought to be prepared just to blow their shit right out of the water, which you have the information to do.
I'd like to add something about the mainstream question too. I think a lot of the reasons, well, I don't think I know a lot of the reasons that the mainstream actors aren't participating in things like this is because they're scared. It all comes down to money. It always comes down to money. And if you're working for the Disney Channel as an actor, well, you have a commodity there, you know, and you're going to lose your audience. You're going to lose your parents. You're going to lose all of that. So people are scared. Just like you're scared of getting arrested, you're scared of getting fined, they're scared too. So it's very easy to say, yes, we need those people, but until you people as fans stand up and tell them that you really don't give a damn if they smoke pot or not, it's not an issue to you, the networks and the people that control the money are going to make it an issue. It's just like what Gatewood said. If they come out and say, I support marijuana, every single time a camera turns on to them, they're going to be asked about it. Well, what's the big deal, right? I mean, we know that. Now we've got to show them that we really don't care. And that's going to draw it more in the mainstream. And Michael's right. Things like Family Guy, people in the mainstream are aware of this.
Exactly.
But they're still making fun of us, you know? So,
Did you see the picture of Time Magazine last week?
Yes.
Time Magazine had a big joint on the cover. And they said, the United States of marijuana. And they confessed, hey, it's over with. The battle's won. We finally achieved what Mark Emery set out to do, and that's overgrow the government. And I think we've done it this time. It's just going to take a little while for the laws to catch up with us.